Activist Rudi van Wyk from Rehoboth alerted me to a story that unfolded at the town. The town council was witnessed breaking down houses in the informal settlement. They have their own mouthpiece to address the issues at the town called Reality Check. Here's what went down.
So hier is ons nou. Hier agter. Erwe was uitgegee geweest soos ek gisterand gesê het. Hulle kan afmeet, hulle kan sit waar hulle wil. Word vir hulle gegee. Die woorde wat gebruik was erwe wat vir mense beloof was. So weer eens, dis the old tricks by the ruling party to win an elections, to give erven before in elections. Hoekom het hulle nie hele jaar gegee nie? Elke jaar die mense die erven nodig, water nodig, krag nodig. Hoekom nou? Hoekom gee hulle nou paar minute voor die 5 maande voor die elections hierdie goeders? Hierso is dit die hele herrie oor alles. So, dis duidelik. Dis duidelik, hier was niks erwe gewees nie. Die erwe was kom aangewys gewees. In council staan rond. Die erwe was kom aangewys. Hulle het blijkbaar securities ook. En ministry, hulle beweer dat Ministry of Mines, Ministry of Urban Development, Rural and Urban Development vir hulle hierdie erwe gegee het of gewys het, uitgesit het. So Urban and Rural Development wys vir die mense die erwe aan. So hoe is dit moontlik? Dis dieselfde ou triks wat hulle mense erwe gee kort voor 'n verkiesing. So hier is dieselfde speletjie weer 'n keer. Hier was nie gewees nie. Hulle is kom gegee, hulle was gebeloof. En die woorde wat spesifiek klem gelê het op my was die woorde die erwe wat vir hulle beloof was. Hy het hom geweerspreek en gesê die erwe wat vir hulle beloof was. Hulle afbabbels, dis nie reg storie nie. Hulle moet keer en afbreek. Een kant van Rehoboth breek hulle erwe af. Die ander kant van Rehoboth kom gee hulle erwe. Regtig waar. Dis 'n strategie en 'n agenda wat hierdie mense volg. Hulle moet ministeriële approval kry en dan mense erwe gee. Hoeveel keer het jy hulle aansoek gedoen?
Ek het 2 keer gaan gedoen. En ek het ook nou die dag vir kanse vir dinge gesê, maar vir my gesê dat ek het aansoek gedoen om 'n erf kan kry, maar tot vandag toe word ek net geverklaar ek is illegal.
So van ou lokasie af tot nou toe. Hoeveel jaar is dit nou wat jy nog nooit eens jou grond van jou eie gekry het nie?
Dis lang. Dis lang.
Watter jaar was dit? 86.
Eerste soos ek my erf aan een windhoek gaan verkoop het en Rehoboth toe getrek het, aangesien omdat ek skoolkinders het ek 'n erf in blok E gekoop by iemand. Daai belastingamptenaar het vir my verwys gaan in die lokasie. Dan loop en verneem jy om erf te koop. Ek het by iemand erf gekoop vir R5000. Ek het krag en water daar opgemaak. Na 5 jaar word ek uitgeset daar.
Ai,
Voor jare.
van wie?
Dit was Jan Koski en Mastek was die 'n groot man het hy dit gewees. Die eintlike man wat die laaste moet sê. Hulle het my uitgeset. Daar is nie 'n wat hemel doen nie. Het ek daar kom gesit. En ek het alleen kom gesit daar. Ek het hierdie mense gesê kom bly saam met my nie. Hulle het self gekom omdat hulle behoeftig is.
Na die ander plek is hy.
En daar is nie 'n plek nie. Maar toe die mense hier kom penne geslaan het, toe was ek die man wat tot by die mense gegaan het en gevra het, wat maak julle? Hulle het gesê dis erfpenne. Dis antwoord wat hulle my gegee het. Die mense was kom uit die landmeters na. Wat erfpenne gegee het. So, helfte van erfpenne het wel uitgeval of hulle is gewerk, maar helfte bestaan nog tot nou toe.
So.
Toe was hierdie Meya, nie, hy was by die skool. Hy was skoolhof, hier so by vooruit zeg. So elke Meya wat kom kan mos nie vir my jag nie.
Ja.
Ek kry baie skade daaroor. Nou het ek nuwe aansoek weer gemaak om 'n krag na my plek toe te kry. Want my kindertjies ver rond, hulle wil krag, hulle moet mos ook die kyk.
Zeg alweer, hulle het gesê hulle kom van die polisie.
Ja, dat je moet niet mijn huis afbreken als ik wil niet schrijven.
My naam is Rastes, Karoi.
Jo, ernstig.
Ja, mij is zo gezegd. En ik heb om die eerste keer dat ik daar kwam, ik heb om gevraagd die papier van de werk dat je kry die tonkasse dat er moet is ook om te maken. En die was ook, die mensen wat bij elkaar, en ik zei, die kan ook niet zo maken, die state van corona en die president heeft gezegd, ons moet bij deze breed maken. Die meer komt niet zo, ik zeg, ons moet dat zo bij dan.
Jy het 'n goeie punt, Piet. President gesê bly by die huis, nou kom breek hulle jou huis
Ja,
af.
maar ik breng my huis nou, ik sta nou zo nou huis.
Dis om kwaad te raak. Nee, dankie. So, wat kan het jy gebly?
Hier zo op hier.
Mevrou Kadises,
Dit is nou onze huis.
hier was julle se huis gewees.
Die was die kerk geweest. Die was die huis geweest.
Die was die kerk wat ook afgebreek is.
Die kerk is ook afgebreekt. En het is gezegd,
En wie daaronder gebly?
so 'n ander oom wat by ons nou bly.
So die oom bly nou by julle.
Hy nou nie bly.
The Swapo Party gathering to celebrate the party's 60th anniversary recently was met with some controversy as the party was accused of violating the very lockdown regulations that other citizens have been thrown into jail for not adhering to. Job Amupanda at the time made this video.
I'm sending this message under serious circumstances. When the COVID-19 state of emergency related declaration was announced, we supported that initiative because we understood what it means. Despite the events later that come, such as the 400 people inaugurated, who came to this inauguration. So we still thought that's human error. It could be understood. Maybe people, when they are drunk with power, they can do whatever they want to do. But then we saw a lot of changes that are happening, such as the alcohol, the zigzagging on alcohol to accommodate white monopoly capital. We were informed reliably, and we also announced it previously, that they have been putting a lot of pressure on government. So it is after that event that we began to be very disturbed about it. So yesterday, Swapo had their birthday, and they were definitely, they clearly violated the lockdown regulation. Disturbingly, there was an announcement that veteran Ben Amadila traveled from his farm. So we don't know what permission that he got to travel in order to come and cut the cake. Young people are being arrested when they are having parties in their homes. So these guys are not taking us seriously. So this it shows that they just want everybody else to be at home while they can do whatever they want to do. They're not taking this pandemic seriously. So we want to send a serious message, a serious warning to the politicians that don't take us for a ride. We're not idiots. We're not complying because we are afraid of any of you. So if you want chaos, you are going to get chaos. Let's all abide by lockdown regulation. Any further violation of lockdown regulation will be violated by everybody else. So you can arrest and do whatever you want to do, but you must take us seriously. Ndilimani Cultural Troop alone is more than 10 people. How do you hold a meeting, a private, if it's a government event can be understood, a political party, a private event, yeah, placing the risk of the lives of everyone at risk. So who do you think you are? So this is a warning to all those politicians to take us seriously.
The Swapo Party, of course, vehemently opposed these allegations. Namibia Fact Check did what it does best and reported on the facts as follows. The Swapo birthday gathering was not an exempted public gathering. Clearly, the event was not a household, funeral, unplanned, or accidental gathering, nor a meeting of the government institution, cabinet, or parliament, at which a critical matter of national importance had to be discussed. No permission was granted by law enforcement that the gathering take place, Namibia Fact Check reported. When contacted for information and comment on this matter, Swapo Party Executive Director Austin, who was also present at the occasion, stated the following: no permission was required because we complied with lockdown regulation. The gathering consisted of more people than was allowed under lockdown regulations. There were clearly more than 10 people present at the event, even if you excluded the media and security personnel, as the following images attest to. And then they came with the receipts. 10 people in this shot, previously unseen women in this shot, journalists and cops in the mix, our Vice President and Prime Minister were there, veterans were in the mix, as was the Speaker of the National Assembly, the guy showing former President Pahamba to his seat, and this woman in the yellow skirt, making that 25 visible and partly visible people. I also recently had a word with Regional Commander Joseph Shikongo about how some members of the elite and police seem to be immune to the virus and don't display signs of social distancing.
There's nobody's immune in this country. When we are talking about the coronavirus, there's nobody's immune.
So why are you...
And today we are hearing of the most senior politicians infected by coronavirus. Today we have heard of, I think on the news you have heard, journalists have heard of the Vice President of South Sudan. You have heard of the Prime Minister of UK. He was in ICU for quite some time because of corona. Corona does not discriminate. Therefore, there is no discrimination when it comes to the laws. Our law is applicable to everybody. The case that you are referring to, you are referring to a Swapo case. There's a case open. If you so want, I can give you the case number. There's a docket on that, under investigation. So it's not true that there was nothing done. So there was a case, somebody reported it, and once a report is given to us, we open a case without fear or favor. We are supposed to do the issue of government official that you are telling me why there is discrepancies on government employees. It's not true. Not as far as I know as the regional commander. I know the way we are polishing. If today you are telling me that that house is for Commissioner Shikongo and he's selling alcohol, we will go immediately and arrest him. The issue of the artists that were performing is the issue of Sunny Boy, the Josie. They were here, and they are all fined. They are going to pay. They are figures, public figures, and they've been charged in terms of the of people coming together, more than 10, and also the consumption of alcohol. They were all charged. They were 33. Over the weekend, we actually charged about 56 people. 5 were found in a hotel in Kleinwindhoek, and 18 in the areas of Ochomwithe, and 33 at Fanglep. They were all arrested and they were all charged. Well, when we are talking about arresting people, I think I need to clear this very clearly. When you arrest people, when we bring them here, we don't put them in a cells. We don't put them in a cells. We put them in a place where we keep them for a while and charge them. And remember, when you are talking about all these things, if you look even all the police officers, they are supposed to have a mask. Mine is here. They are supposed to have their masks, and you can see you have yours, and mine is also here. All the police officers have been given masks. And we said when you are getting in your vehicles, you must put it on your vehicles. Because obviously we don't have enough resources that we can keep 4 police officers in a car. And one thing that you should also remember, when we police officers, when we are responding to the scene of a crime, where there are 7 people fighting with pangas, you can't send 4 people. You need a force which will be able, proportionate, which will be able to respond to the other, to the opposing force. So therefore, sometimes we police officers, we are prepared to sacrifice the 3 people in the protection of 1 person. We are doing it for a good cause. Therefore, the notion of there are some people who are treated better and the others not, it is not true. Not as far as I'm concerned as the regional commander. Any report that's coming to me, definitely we are going to act according to the regulations. When we find government people in a car and there are 5, we will not say no, it's a GRNK, it's a police car, allow them to go. We definitely have to remove 1 person, and the driver will be confined accordingly for overloading people as opposed to the authorized people, to passengers in a particular vehicle.
Man. The thirst in some members of our society. A syndicate actually broke into the Namibia Breweries and stole a whole lot of beer, which they then went on to sell to Shebeens during lockdown. Check this out. And then the syndicate was cracked. Regional Commander Joseph Shikongo spoke about recent police operations in which even a customs officer was apprehended for selling alcohol.
We have arrived where the point where we told you we bring you in is what we call our Pol 7. Pol 7 is where we register all the exhibits that are confiscated after commission of crime. And what you see here today, we have said in our briefing, these are the alcohol that were confiscated on the 25th. We confiscated on the 25th, and the allegation is that they were purchased from Okahanja, that they were found in Windhoek. And you can see these are the boxes. We have got starting ranging from beer, we have the Tassenberg here, we have the Granada, and then from there we go to the other type of like 4th Street. Then you have the other one there is Selacasta.
we have the Captain ML here, you have the OB, and so on and so on. So the process here, this thing now is under the custody of the state. So there are processes whether they are going to be disposed or they are going to be auctioned in public auction. So that will be determined by between the prosecution, the police to determine the fate of this alcohol. But basically, currently, they are under our custody. And we got the case number there. That's opened against those the perpetrators. Yes, we indicated there were 3 people arrested, 3 suspects, and more arrests might happen very soon. We are working on that. And here is the station commander of Windu Police Station, where we are currently having our briefing. So Chief Inspector Muyambango is the man with his team that were behind the confiscation of all this alcohol. That is now police station, the Namibia Desert. We are working as a team, and definitely we are out to there. Those who are attempting and challenging us. So we are ready. We are going to meet them in the field.
Government's announcement of a grant of $750 Namibian for Namibia's most derelict citizens saw many angry people gather at the Ministry of Finance to demand their grants. My people are hungry and desperate, and many were hoping that this grant would help to alleviate just a little bit of their plight.
But we have to make sure that the money goes to the people that really deserve it. And in that process, we have to do a verification process. And you should just wait until we finish the verification process. We are not saying you should go to social security. We are saying we are addressing the issue in partnership with the social security. Just wait. For you to shout will not bring the money. The only way you can get money is when you start cooperating. Hello. What is problem? I don't speak
The Finance Ministry spokesperson, Tonateni Shidhudhu, went to great plans to try and calm the crowd.
There was a first round of verification process, a data reconciliations that we were carrying out against the Social Security Commission register. We had about 120,000 names. When we finished that process, we were able to free up more than 50,000 names, and those people were paid. But of course, the remainder were rejected because on the register of the Social Security, it still shows that their membership is active. And in that process, there was nothing that we could do but to reject them again. So we sent them a notification yesterday informing them on the status of the application. Of course, that they were rejected. So, but many of them, these people are not employed. That's why they came here to demand for answers. But what we are saying is that we are not just throwing away this data. We are not just throwing away their concerns. We are going again to carry out a second verification process to determine the real status of their employment. And what we are saying is that they should bear with us for the next 2 days. We will carry out that process, and by Monday or Tuesday next week, we will be able to tell them the status of the application. Of course, if we find out that they are not working, we will pay them like we did to the 57,000 people that we paid on Monday.
This week, they posted the following to Facebook. We are no longer dealing with physical verification of the EIG applicants. If there's any information that we need from certain applicants, we will contact them. All applicants to be assessed, no one will be left out. We appeal to those that have not yet received their grant to be patient, stay home. No need to come to our offices anymore until you are told to do so. Shaun Naude of the Namibia Marshal Rangers, in his never-ending quest to serve the people of Namibia, was outraged when he encountered medical waste, allegedly from a maternity ward, just dumped at an open site.
Okay, I'm sitting here at the back of Koreangap Dam. There's a residential area here. People are using this walkway going past, and we found all these needles and injections and syringes and empty vials. Now this is what we call a sharps box, or a safety box for used injections and stuff like that, needles, swabs, that kind of stuff. And that's contaminated stuff. And this is being used on humans, and there's blood on some of this stuff, and there's even cotton wool with blood on. You know, what happens is, this is a sealed box, all right? And then there's a hole, and you dump it in there, and then there, on the back, it gives you the instructions of what to do with this when it's done, okay? Somebody has decided to come and dump this where people are walking and stuff. Now, if you are in the medical field and you're doing this, you should lose your license. If I had to find who has done this, I would report them and make sure that they lose their license. This is a health risk. There are needles all here. Look at this. Needles all over. Look here. Used swabs with blood on them. Here, needles. This is disgusting. Whoever did this, okay, you don't deserve to be in the medical field. I'm telling you now. This is ridiculous. I will come and I will clean up this myself, but this is unacceptable. And if you're in the medical field and this is how you work, alright, where hygiene and health is supposed to be your priority in saving lives, and you do stuff like this, I hope someday you get caught and you lose your license. Be wise and save lives.
He gave us an update after he received a response from Deputy PS Ben Nangombe.